hospital and I discharged myself, and this is my first child, so I could be with her. But that was a moment because, you know, a lot of people go, but Renee, you seem so calm during that time. And you know why? It's because when something powerful happens, and we've all got that moment in our lives where we're forced to step up and to think, but for the first time in our lives, we're thinking so crystal clear. And it is so clear. And you know why it's so clear? I used to always say, oh, it's just in survival mode and you just have to step up. It's not, because for the first time often in our lives, we're present. For the first time in our lives, we're not thinking about what we're having for dinner or what we're doing tomorrow or what we want our businesses to achieve, and we're not thinking about any of that stuff. All we're thinking about is this moment right now, because that's all that matters and that's all that we can change. And that is when we do our best work. That is when we step up and step into that space, is that when we're right there in that moment. And that was a massive moment for me because I had clarity, crystal clear clarity. This was another really big moment for me. My first business, which is Alluring Lingerie, I was in a partnership with my sister, and she was my best friend, and we spoke every day, 20 times a day. She was my best friend. Being in a partnership with her, I love her to bits. I still love her to bits. It drove me crazy. The hardest decision I've ever made was to break that partnership. Because I was scared, you know, I didn't want it to end bad. But I knew that I couldn't grow within my life in the direction that I wanted, but I knew that she couldn't grow either. So I knew until this decision was made, she wasn't going to make the decision. I had to make that decision, and it's tough. It was one of the toughest things I've ever done, and I jeopardised my relationship with her. We didn't speak for probably about 1 to 2 years. We're not. But it enabled her to fly and me to fly. But it was the hardest thing. So sometimes, my point is here, sometimes you need to make really tough decisions, but until you make that decision and close that door, you can't see what's on the other side, and another door always opens, and you know in your gut what you have to do, but fuck, sometimes it's a hard decision to make. It enabled me to establish this, and this is my baby, and this allowed me to fly, and it just resonates with people, and it has from the get-go, and now it's so much bigger than just Bra Queen, because it's enabled me to, you know, the whole driving force behind Bra Queen was to help motivate and inspire women in business. And 5 years on, we're thriving, and I say, you know, we're, because Bra Queen is another person to me, and my alter ego to myself. You know, but sometimes I think, you know, she allows me to tap into someone and to step into that space, which is, you know, it's been fantastic. It's, you know, enabled me to do Bra Queen Exposed, Renee Main, you know, my speaking profile, my media profile, Busting Out, which is my baby as well. So I love Busting Out. Because it is all about lifestyle, and busting out represents busting out of your life to create a life. Yes, that's right. I did, you know, that silhouette come back to me, and she had small boobs, and I said, you're going to have to make it bigger boobs. So, okay. But
and then Techie went, no worries.
Yes, exactly. But you know, it's about, we can do small things on the outside that make us feel good to give us the confidence to tackle the inside, which is what ultimately is what it's about. I don't know what's on after this. Okay. All that has driven stereo untypical success, because stereo untypical success to me means not this sales funnel where most people think it's about creating this sales funnel and creating that journey, and you're a part of that journey with each of your customers, with each of your network, and it's about what you have, and it's about thinking different and being different, but most importantly feeling different, and that's what it's about. So let me tell you about what I've created, and no one else has seen it. You guys are the first one to see it. It's my new baby. I am not from this point on, for the rest of this year, I've decided to not do any more events. This will be my last event, which is a big step because I love this, but I feel like it's time that I need to step back and this was a huge realisation for me, that I need to step away, just to concentrate and build my hub. I'm growing too big, too fast, and I need to pull it back and just build what's in it. Which has been a process, is because I've tried everything and I've worked everywhere and I do everything and I'm passionate about everything. So this is a huge decision for me, and it's a really big step. And I think you guys can probably understand, because we have so many ideas and it's really easy to do this, but it's me being strong and protecting my brand. And it's really important to me that I deliver. If I get any bigger, I won't be able to deliver on my existing family, which is really important to me. So I've created, I don't know what's going to come up now.
No, you can.
I'm almost scared to click. I'm going to start to say it because I really don't know what's going to come up. So I've started what I've called the Success Circle. And what it really is about driving the people in my hub and making them great and fueling them, because I'm really, really passionate about watching you guys be all you can be, because for me that is what it is really about. If I'm talking heart space to heart space, it's not about the big picture. For me right now, if I can be as present as possible, it really is about getting our circle thriving, all of us thriving. So this is what I've created. Can I be honest? I haven't even decided on a number, but I'm thinking 7, I think, is what I can kind of do and manage well. It's not extended. It will not be extended to anyone outside of my community. It won't. It's just who's a part of my family now. So what I've done is I've created a 12-month program, because I'm in it for the long haul. I really am. It's about getting your big picture thriving now, and it's about me just being within my circle now. It really is. So what I've done is I've created monthly webinars, and you know I've been doing monthly webinars now for a while to the masses, but I've created a successful exclusive monthly webinar. So I've collaborated with lawyers that is going to share their knowledge with us, as well as a whole bunch of really I want to say cutting edge marketing strategies, but it's there, it's always been there, it's just untapped, okay? Access to all of my resources. At the moment now, I really am going back into my bunker and I'm pulling everything together. So all of my resources will be available to you, all of my templates, everything. Tickets to all events, and as I say, there won't be another one this year, but next year there will be. We're going to revisit it. What we're going to do is, I'll probably bypass this because we're going to have monthly virtual lounge room discussions where we can come together and have a discussion and just have a mastermind, you know, similar to kind of what we've done here over the last few days. And we're doing that, so it'll be monthly lounge room discussions and the monthly webinars. And then quarterly, once every 3 months, is we're going to get together in person and have a brainstorming session to make sure that we're all being accountable and we're all on track as well. And not, you know what, I'm really about being there for all of your pitfalls and, you know, just all the shit times as well as the good times, you know. Because, you know, we do this and things do happen, and it's important that someone's there. And a lot of people run because they're fearful of their success rate or whatever. I'm not about that because I really do, that's when you need people most, you know. Anyone's there to share your successes, but no one's got your back sometimes when you really need support and you really need help at, you know, 8:30 on a Saturday night or something. You know, sometimes you need that, and that's okay. So that's what I really want to create. But so that'll be that. Weekly e-classes as well, and just that's more so to continue the building blocks and building blocks and building blocks, because they're never ending, okay, and I have a lot. Also a monthly one-on-one with me as well, which that will continue. So, and it's valued at like $30,000. I feel like I'm taking such a big risk. And it's a bit scary because I'm doing something that no one has done. No one has done. And other mentors would call me fucking crazy. But anyway, I'm going to put it out there. Because I figure you have to take a risk, right? Anyway, so I'm going to move on. I'm rambling now. So what I'm going to do is, it's not to sign up today, it's expression of interest only, because there has to be some kind of, not an interview process, but there's going to be a conversation before any of this happens. So what it's going to be is it's $7.97 monthly or $2.97 per month, and I'll say if, but no, it's going to be when you make your first 100K or 100K on top of what you're doing now, I have $10,000. You pay me $10,000. If you don't, you don't pay me. Okay, I don't get that 10 grand. Okay, but that's only going to be available to 3, because I can't do that.
You've got a license.
I can't do that for everybody, but there will be a process, a conversation. Does it work out to be more expensive? It does, by about 3 grand. But I figure that, you know what, if you make 100K, then 10K, or by the time it adds up to, I think, 12.5K, I'm taking a risk, and I do have to back myself a little bit. But that's available. Again, that's by expression of interest only. It is going to be only available to 7 because we need to keep it tight. And 3 people have the option of $2.97 per month. Okay. So that is me. Just let me know, and we can organise a time to chat, and we'll organise a conversation for next week or the week after or whatever, but it is by expression of interest. Okay, so you don't need to sign up today. So that's it.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks. I feel really grateful, and yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Just
One
fly.
word, sum up, amazing.
Just fly. Oh, which reminds me, sorry, if you don't mind, you don't have to if you don't want to, can we do some video testimonials about your 3 days? If you want. If you want. You don't have to. I
Not
won't
this
feel bad.
afternoon, no, do we?
Well, the
When we've had a
camera's
few
here.
beers, no worries.
The camera's here, so I did. Yeah.
Lipstick.
With your shoulder out like me.
Yeah, they don't need to be
Look
long, 30
gorgeous.
seconds. If you've enjoyed it, the things you've enjoyed, whatever you want, whatever you want.